I'm sitting in front of books because it makes me look sophisticated. When I read The Art of Possibility by Zander and Zander, I think that the rule that most stuck out to me was rule number 6, which is just to lighten up. When we lighten up individually, a lot of times it makes other people around us lighten up as well. And that can help also release our calculating self so that we can be more of our central self. When we put our calculating self away, we can then let our central self shine through more so that we can, reach even more of the rules in the book, The Art of Possibility.
How did you decide to select this practice, number 6?
I selected this practice because it's really the one that I believe is preventing me from losing my calculating self, so I can let more of my central self come out to everyone. And I think that by mastering the practice of just lightening up, that I can, I'll be able to embrace even more of the art of possibility. And I really feel like I could also just become a better person by just taking things lightly. And I'm also one of those people who cries when they get embarrassed instead of just laughing along with everyone else. Oh my gosh, I'm so weird and so bad at tripping. So funny.
What challenges did you experience in applying this practice?
When applying this practice, I found it pretty difficult to just lighten up. It's just one of those things that's much easier said than done, and I think it's really difficult to unlearn something that you've known for so long, and I've learned that when I feel embarrassed, that's a bad thing, and so it means that I've messed up, which I usually take very hard, and I have to unlearn being so harsh on myself so that I can start to loosen up and lighten up.
Have you noticed any outcomes so far?
I definitely have noticed some outcomes. So far, I've noticed that when I do something embarrassing, it's much less embarrassing if I just lighten up and laugh about it rather than crying, because it's definitely more awkward and embarrassing to cry than it is to laugh. And also, people just respond better to laughter than they do to crying.
Will you stay committed to this practice? Why or why not?
I will definitely stay committed to this practice. Reading The Art of Possibility really made a big impact on me, and if I think that if I can get rule number 6 down, that I can really begin putting the other 11 practices to work. I really think that following the practices of this book will lead me to many possibilities and will make my life only get better than it already is, which is awesome.
What have you learned about yourself during this experience?
I've learned quite a bit about myself during this experience of practicing this for 2 weeks. I've learned that if I have learned a lot of things in my life which may not have been the best things to learn, and I've also learned that I am quite stubborn, and it's not always a good thing to be so stubborn. Finally, I also learned that it's very hard to unlearn things that you've been practicing for so long, so I know that this whole practice of just lightening up will take a lot of time, and I think that as long as I just keep practicing, it'll get easier and easier.
What have you learned about others during this experience?
When it comes to others, I think that I've mostly just learned that people tend to react better to laughter than they do to tears, so I think that my relationship with other people will only get easier the more I decide to practice rule number 6 than I already do.
Making a YouTube video is really hard.